You know, it's strange to me that we live in a society where we need to be skeptical and cautious of a new COD Zombies map releasing. And if there was any time that skepticism for not just one or two individuals but for the whole community has peaked, it has been with the infamous Call of Duty Vanguard. I just wanted to give some of my thoughts on this and just have a discussion about it, and ultimately ask the questions and give my opinion on whether or not Numa Reborn failed as a map, and if this map manages to save Vanguard zombies. I believe we have one more map to come yet, which is supposed to be the Egypt map, and we can't judge the whole game for its zombies mode because not all of the zombies maps are out yet. But the train wreck we have so far is something that we can talk about. We got Dirt and Fang back at launch. It was horrible. It was one of the worst zombies experiences I've ever played. In fact, it was the worst. From an objective standpoint, to be honest, I really think it was that bad. It made Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, even World War II zombies, and Black Ops 4 look like some of the best zombies experiences you could ever have. The zombies community, both casual and hardcore, were in shucks. We were all in panic, and I'm sure I don't even need to tell you about this picture, but it basically sums up how we all felt about Vanguard zombies. And to be honest, this one really resonates with my soul. I did a poll just before the map released, and people said that Numa is gonna be mid, and they were right. Numa Reborn is mid. I feel like I'd be doing myself a disservice if I said that this map is really good, or if I said that the map is really bad, because it's neither of those things. Instead, it finds itself in the average tier, but that does not mean this map is real stinky poo-poo. Like, I don't think it's as bad as some people make out, but I get why a lot of people are mad, because this map, although it's good, it's nothing special, and when we had something that for the most part the zombies community were really happy with, like Cold War for example, it laid down a path that we could all follow, and hopefully it would have gotten even better in the next zombies game. And instead of taking all of those good things over from Cold War into Vanguard zombies and working off of it, it was just all thrown out the window. I understand Treyarch wanted to do something different. I know that they were understaffed, so that must be such a real struggle, to be fair. But to me, that still doesn't explain why they couldn't have just used what was already there for Cold War, and then later down the line, like Outbreak in Cold War, they could have made their objective-based mode and probably done a better job with it. But no, we got the objective-based stuff first, and that included Dirt and Fang, Terra Maledicta, and people just really hated this stuff. I sure did as well. So then Treyarch said, fine, we'll go back to round-based zombies, and that should make people happy. And it took some time, but we got there in the end. Now, it wasn't a surprise that it was going to be Numa that got a remaster. The assets were there, and considering time was more than against them, it only made sense for them to use Numa. Let's have a look at the map first. Numa Reborn is a lot brighter straight off the bat and a lot more visually appealing than the one that was in Duranfang that you could teleport to. It was extremely dark there. You were confined to like just the main hut, and you would be crammed into that with all of these zombies, and it was a real fever dream now that I think about it. So as for visuals, of course they're not perfect, but you know, it has a gloomy feel to it, and I think that's what they were going for. So we went from Dirt and Fang, then to Terra Maledicta, but we still had the same boring, dull, objective gameplay that nobody found to be any good at all. Although I understand what they were going for and what their vision was. Now, Terra Maledicta did have a main Easter egg quest at the beginning of the map. It was available to do at launch. People don't really consider this to be much of anything. We got a wonder weapon though in Terra Maledicta, but it was just a weird shield. A shield which, by the way, is nowhere near as good as what you could pick pieces up and build back in Black Ops 3. God of Fafnir lovers, where we are. And then when we look forward to Numa Reborn, wonder weapon wise, there's still nothing new. Sure, the Wonder Waff is back, and I'm actually so glad that it has a wonder weapon quest for you to be able to build it. Or if you wanted to, you could just roll it out of the box at round 10 onwards. I love the Wonder Waff offer just as much as the next guy. But what I don't love is no unique spin on the weapon. This would have been a perfect time to do that, and instead, the only change they could really have thought to make to the wonder weapon is not even directly to the weapon itself, but it was simply boiled down to them saying that Von List made the Wunderwaffe, and it was some sort of like soft retcon. But regardless, the Wunderwaffe is back. At least it's a really good wonder weapon, and for Vanguard's expectations, okay, we got a really solid wonder weapon that can be upgraded via Pack-a-Punch and is fun to use. Although it's nothing new and impactful, it's whatever. As for the main Easter egg quest with the map, it seems as though it's pretty fun. Now, I can't judge it too hard because I haven't done the Easter egg yet, so yeah, I've been caught lacking there, but I've heard it is pretty good and fun to do on either solo or co-op. I did watch people do the Shinonuma Easter egg, and from what I saw, the Easter egg hunt itself looked fun, as well as actually doing the Easter egg quest, and so it's something I'm definitely planning on doing. And overall, I've not heard anyone say it's terrible or that it sucks or anything like that, so the Easter egg, from what I can tell, gets a big W. Although the cutscene was a bit questionable. If you thought the Black Ops 4 ending was like a slideshow, this is actually like I went on to PowerPoint, drew some images, and then recorded some voice lines, and then threw it onto an actual PowerPoint. Like, it is not too great, but considering the time constraints, I would rather have an actual fun game to play first, and I think Numa Reborn has accomplished that for the most part. Still though, not too great for an ending cutscene. Numa does have another good strength though, and that is its side content. The side content in this map is actually quite fun. There's the Samantha doll Easter egg, which I think is Treyarch's way of reminding us, hey, Samantha still exists, and we're acknowledging that, you know, she's one of the main characters of Zombies, so I'm glad we've got some sort of mention of her. There's also the Easter egg song, which I don't know why it only plays the instrumental version of the one by Kevin Sherwood and Elena Sigmund, although I've got a funny feeling that it's because of some sort of laws in place, because of COD Vanguard not being a Treyarch title, but instead being under Sledgehammer's name, and therefore they wouldn't be able to use Elena Sigmund's voice in a different COD game that isn't Treyarch. I could be totally wrong with that, but it seems like one of the only logical explanations. Apologies for the inner Saul Goodman coming out of me there when it comes to laws, but to be honest, I could be totally wrong about all of that. It just feels weird to me that they would completely cut Elena Sigmund's vocals completely out of the picture. Regardless though, Kevin Sherwood's instrumentals absolutely slap, and considering it's as simple as just holding F on a phone to interact with it, and then boom, there's the instrumentals, it plays. I'm just glad that the one came back in some way, shape or form. There's also that one bunny Easter egg, I'm sure you know what it is by now. A very Cold War-esque type of Easter egg, so I'm glad to see stuff like that come back. You just get some bonus points and I think a fire sale from it. Once again, I just appreciate a lot of this side stuff being thrown into the map. And returning from Cold War, the Rampage Inducer is back as a side Easter egg, a relatively simple one at that, in Numa, and it's good to see it back. And there's a rumoured side Easter egg that hasn't been found in the game files, sat there waiting in the map to be discovered, and I do wonder if anyone's gonna find it. One thing I've always loved about Zombies is even after the main Easter egg has been done, there's still little side Easter eggs that could be really cool that simply haven't been found yet. And whilst I mention the main Easter egg here, I just want to quickly say the time for the hunt of that Easter egg was pretty decent as well. It wasn't solved straight away, but it also didn't drag out for too long either. It did seem like it was a real puzzle being solved, and some thinking outside of the box had to be done. Some criticism I do have for Numa Reborn is I think there should have been maybe at least 2 new areas instead of only 1. The new area we have is quite big, but you know, I think it just needed maybe 1 extra new area, because outside of that 1 new area, the rest is literally only Numa. But something that really does annoy me about Numa Reborn, and maybe this is more of a Vanguard problem, but my god, does it really stick out like a really sore thumb. And this is collectively hated by the whole Zombies community. I have not heard anybody say that they like these, and this is of course Zabala and the machine gun man. I don't really know his name. Zabala especially especially, but I just hate zombies or people shooting at me when I'm trying to play a game of zombies. Like, that is a stupid thing, unless it's a game mode designed around PvP, in which case it's a different story. But when it's PvE enemies shooting back at me, I hate that. I hate it so much. Combine machine gun men with the zombies, and then there's a baller on top is just insane to me. When they said they were reworking zombies and stuff, I didn't think they would make this poor of a decision to keep Zabalas especially in the map. They become immune to any damage at certain points, and it feels like they take forever to kill, especially if you aren't using a shotgun. I was rocking an STG one match, and I was killing this Zabala after getting the Wunderwaffe step, because you need a Zabala to be able to get a Wunderwaffe apart, and she kept becoming immune to damage, kept teleporting away from me, and kept soaking up bullets. Like, seriously, my STG felt like a freaking Nerf gun, and so I genuinely decided to not bother. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna end the round and just keep playing and just try and ignore her. And in a PvE mode where the point of the game on a surface level is to kill zombies and have fun doing that, me wanting to actively leave an enemy is not good to me at all. That could be more of a me problem, but I think it just says something about the fact that I actively didn't want to keep trying to kill this Zabala. It was frustrating, and it wasn't even that late into the game. So Zabalas and big shooty machine gun men, they drag this map down, and I mean really far down. They hold it back from feeling pretty freeing, but when you combine those two with the really annoying unearned damage you get from zombies, you just can't dodge them, not like you can in other zombies games. The frustration begins to add up really quickly. What do I think the best course of action is for the Zabalas? In particular, get rid of them. It seems like this mini-boss problem started all the way back in Black Ops 4. Do you remember how many mini-bosses would constantly be up your ass and never give you a break, crammed into a map all at the same time? Because that was one of Black Ops 4's biggest downfalls, and it's a problem that rears its ugly head again and takes a lot of points away from Numa Reborn. I also don't know what happened with the marketing for this map. They didn't really push it out much. There was that 22-second trailer which a lot of people like to clown on, and then there were just a few tweets, and that was all there was. And there's a part of me that thinks, do they really care that much about pushing out trailers anymore? Because Vanguard now has a reputation, even if Numa is a good map, which I enjoy. Numa Reborn, I think it's a good map, and even if the next map, which is going to be set in Egypt probably, is going to be a decent map as well, I'm not really sure if Activision will go out of their way to push out a full-fledged trailer for the Egypt map. I could go on about this all day, but I just want to give some closing thoughts here. Think about Numa Reborn and think about Vanguard as a whole, and from the way it looks to me, it's not that Numa Reborn didn't surpass our expectations, it just caught up with the bare minimum. We finally have a good wonder weapon that's not a ray gun. We finally have a good main Easter egg quest. We finally have round-based zombies. We finally have wall buys, as well as side Easter eggs. Although the side Easter eggs didn't need to be added, it is more something we just expect from a zombies map now, and that's the sad truth. I think it's hyperbolic to say that Numa Reborn has saved zombies, because it hasn't. We finally have a true zombies experience in a Call of Duty game that has said it's gonna have a zombies experience. Not one, not two, but finally 3 maps in. And overall, I don't think Numa Reborn has saved zombies. For me, I consider Vanguard zombies to be saved once the game is good enough to buy. And I don't think we're quite there yet. But it hasn't failed either. It's actually quite fun. If you have Vanguard deleted, install it, try Numa Reborn, do the Easter egg, I know I'm probably gonna soon, kick back with the boys, shoot some zombies, and try and have some fun. The map is definitely good enough to play if you have already got Vanguard, but do not buy the game for this. You've probably heard a lot of people saying that, and I'm right with them on this. Call of Duty Vanguard still isn't worth the money, but Numa Reborn, if you've got the time, give it a go. There's a fun Easter egg, there's plenty of side content, there's a wonder weapon quest, and some more story beats that are making this a lot more interesting, such as the Chaos story. If my opinions have sounded very mixed on this, and very all over the place, that's because they are. But I'm gonna give this map praise where it's due, because it may not have saved zombies zombies as a whole, but it sure does give me a lot of hope for the future, that maybe zombies can at least be fun again. And with Numa Reborn, I've been proven that new zombies maps can be fun in 2022. Numa Reborn is a good map. Not perfect, not terrible, it's just good. So let's keep holding out hope for another good zombies experience. But anyways, I'm gonna leave this video here today. This one's been all over the place, very rambly, but I wanted to give my thoughts on this. If you enjoyed, be sure to smash the like button, comment your thoughts on all of this. I'd love to discuss and see where we're all at in terms of this map. Subscribe if you aren't already, you won't regret it. Turn on the notification bell too to stay notified whenever I upload a video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.